Welcome to Colonel Basketball Weekly, featuring the head coaches of Nicholls State University basketball, J.P. Piper and DoBee Plaisance. Colonel Basketball Weekly is presented by State Farm. Contact your local State Farm agent today and get to a better state. Colonel Basketball Weekly is also sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. Rouse's, either you're local or you're not. Good afternoon and welcome to Colonel Basketball Weekly. I'm your host, Mike Wagenheim. The Nicholls men's basketball team started their week in Beaumont, Texas, taking on Lamar in Southland play. The defending league champion Cardinals were decimated by the departure of their senior class and have set a school record for losses this season. Meanwhile, the Colonels were hungry for a win. They had dropped 5 straight coming into this one, and they'd be getting back 2 key pieces. Sharpshooting freshman T.J. Carpenter's production has been limited since a shoulder injury in mid-January. He had sat out the previous 2 games. Starting point guard Shane Rillier was also returning after a head injury kept him out of a narrow loss to Northwestern State the weekend before. Slow start for both sides. 2.5 minutes in, Nicholls breaks a scoreless tie. Rillier dishing to Lyndon Smith-Hyde. Nicholls went 9 of 16 from beyond the arc. Amos Wilson with a big night for the Cardinals. A mid-range jumper here puts him on the path for a season-high 23-point effort. Carpenter, meanwhile, is refreshed and ready to drop bombs again. He hit 4 3-balls and scored a team-high 17 off the bench. Nicholls starts to pull away here. Carpenter leading the break ahead to Fred Hunter. The Colonels shot 53% in the first half, up by 17 at the break. Second half, Stan Brown down in the post, and he has it stripped away here, but Ron Mitchell recovers. He winds up floating it in. Mitchell with 14 points and 10 rebounds. Now, Lamar did a very nice job against Hunter. The Southland Conference's leading scorer was limited to 8 shots, but he still racked up 15 points. The Colonels are up by 18. Inside of 4 minutes, Lamar makes a game of it. Wilson leaves it for Brown, who finished a point shy of a double-double. The Nicholls lead is down to 7, but in transition, Smith-Hyde ahead to Carpenter. Misses initially, but the second time's a charm. The Colonels win 74-63. With that victory, Nicholls improved to 6-8 in the Southland and clinched a school record 5th consecutive appearance in the league tournament. Lamar, meanwhile, dropped to 3-23 overall, 1-13 in league, just 1 year after going dancing. Their postseason dreams are all but over. Now, on Saturday, Nicholls would step out of league play for the last time this year, taking part in the Bracket Busters event, and Nicholls was signed a very familiar foe. The Roadrunners of Texas San Antonio bolted the Southland for the WAC this season, then will move on to Conference USA beginning next year. Now, Nicholls would sit the Southland's leading scorer, Fred Hunter, and his ailing hamstring, giving some other Colonels an opportunity to get more minutes. Nicholls has had their struggles in San Antonio, dropping 8 of the previous 9 matchups at the Convocation Center. UTSA, for their part, hasn't found the WAC very inviting, just 2-12 in conference, 6 wins overall, despite having 3 of the top 10 scores in the conference. They were coming off a win against former Southland rival Texas State a week earlier. This one was a shootout early. Jeremy Hill drops it in from downtown, and we're tied at 4 about 4 minutes in. A 14-minute mark here, and Haji Thomas turns it over. Dantrell Thomas for the Colonels leads the break. The no-look to Jamarcus Horace for the dunk. Colonels down 2. And then it's bombs away here for Amin Torres as Nicholls goes 5 of 9 from three-point land in the first half. Torres scored 10 on the day. But UTSA goes on a 10-2 run. 6th-year senior Larry Wilkins with a tip-in of the Michael Hale miss. The Colonels down 12 at the half. Nicholls spends the rest of their time playing catch-up. Travis Julian screens 2 Roadrunners, setting up Smith-Hyde in the corner. 7-point game with 16 minutes left. Cannon Burridge, though, the WAC's leading scorer, turned it on. He scored 17 with 14 coming after intermission. Another fine effort, though, from Horace. A team-high 14 points, 9 boards, 7 offensive. Got the foul there. 10-point deficit here with 13 minutes to go. But UTSA scores the next 13 points. Hale somehow gets this one to drop in the closing moments. The Colonels fall to the Roadrunners 76-58. Nicholls now 7-18 on the season. And head coach J.P. Piper thinks the trip to the Alamo City was something his club, frankly, could have done without.
I really didn't like being in a situation where we needed to play that bracket buster game. I understand the contractual obligation that we have as a conference to ESPN, but it honestly seemed like a little bit of a waste of time for us. The game had no meaning, obviously no bearing on our seeding. If we make the the NCAA tournament at this point, we're probably a play-in team given our overall record. So not a fruitful experience for us. Unfortunately, we needed to rest some players due to injury, not because we wanted to. And so we weren't as competitive as we wanted to be, and I don't like that. I wish we'd have just not played. But we have to do it. We make the most of it. We tried to play some of the younger guys a lot of minutes, give them an opportunity to get a taste, and it may pay dividends if some of those guys have to play in the conference tournament. At least they've had some recent court time and won't be completely overwhelmed, hopefully, if they have to get in a game.
Now you got to step on the gas again. We're heading to Sam Houston, playing the Bearcats tonight. Corpus Christi coming up on Saturday. And these are two winnable games for you. You've already picked up wins against both of these clubs.
Yeah, a huge week for us. These are games that, because they're on the road, you maybe aren't expected to win, but they're against teams that we've already beaten, so we expect to win. If you can get these two on the road, it gives you a ton of momentum coming home next week for two home games. So, I think this is kind of the beginning of our March Madness, if you will. We've got to get on a little run here. We need to get off to a good start tonight against Sam Houston, and then keep that going all the way through the end of conference and into the conference tournament. So big week.
Fred Hunter resting for the UTSA game, and he's been dealing with really a hamstring injury for the better part of the last couple months. It's not going to get any better, just got to play through it.
Yeah, and rest helps. The rest and the rehab work with Chris, our trainer, is going to benefit him. So not playing him Saturday was a smart thing to do when you take a look at the bigger picture. Makes it hard to win without him, but that game, because it didn't mean anything in terms of our positioning in the conference tournament, was a game we had to let slip away so that we could have Fred in the best possible shape for these two big games on the road.
The good thing is, we're 2 weeks away from the conference tournament. Every team that looks like they're going to qualify right now, you've got a shot at.
I believe so. I think if we can get healthy and be rested and refreshed and at our best, we can play with anyone in the league. And my priority right now, as I've worked to prepare our team, is to put them in that situation. So more than defensive drills and offensive drills, we're trying to be aware of fatigue and the condition of their legs and condition of their bodies, and having them in the best possible position to go win a game.
All right, Coach, best of luck tonight.
Thanks, Mike.
Head coach J.P. Piper will be right back with more of Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by State Farm Insurance, in just a moment.
Does State Farm let me bundle auto, home, and life to save money?
Sure. We practically invented bundling. And it all stays with State Farm.
So my policies don't go to some bundling center that ships them off to some bundle factory? I'm dealing with you and not some bungling, bustling bundle builders.
Who have you been working with?
Stay with the company you trust.
Bundle and save with your local State Farm agent.
At Rouse's, we love football. We love the players, we love the fans, and we love the food. So whether it's high school, college, or pros, if there's a game, we're tailgating. You can tackle your tailgate too with one stop by Rouse's. Get Rouse's ready to grill meat, chicken, and pork, or pick up Rouse's ready to serve tailgate specials. Everything is made fresh for the game, and it's all good. So get the home field advantage every time you shop. Shop local. Shop Rouse's. Now that's tailgating.
Nicholls State University is taking education on the road, the information superhighway. If you are unable to come to campus, we are bringing the campus to you. Study at home and graduate quicker with Nicholls Online. No more going to class around the school's schedule. Go to class online around your schedule. All of your courses are taught by qualified Nicholls State University professors who are experts in their fields. To take that step, go to nichols.edu/nicholsonline or email nicholsonline@nichols.edu.
The Colonel women's basketball team entered their Southland Conference matchup at Lamar last Tuesday, riding a 4-game win streak after having established a new single-season program record with 16 victories the week before. This one, though, loomed large as Nicholls began the week just a game behind the second-place Lady Cardinals. The matchup would feature two of the league's most versatile players. For the Colonels, Alicia Allen leads the team in scoring and rebounding and ranks third in the Southland in blocks. Lamar is led by Khalees Lloyd, who's fourth in the Southland in scoring and in the top 10 in the conference in 3 other categories: rebounds, assists, and steals. To the Montaigne Center in Beaumont, the first half all about runs. Dominique Edwards for Lamar helping to ignite a 17-0 run early. Nicholls then reels off the next 16 points. Imani White gets a friendly bounce from the wing. Lamar comes back and regains the lead as Karen Baylor connects on the 3. But Nicholls would go into halftime with a 3-point advantage. In the final minute, Allen from the corner, the pump fake, and the drive. Midway through the second half we go now. Lloyd with the top key 3 here. Lamar up 1. Lloyd with 24 points and 10 boards. A minute later, KK Babin lines it up from the right wing. We're tied at 51. Nicholls hit 8 threes. Under 4 minutes to go, and Imani White looking to inbound the ball. She finds Leanne McCarthy, who misses a lay-in, but Jasmine Scott is there to follow. The Colonels are up 3. Scott was a rebound short of a double-double, but Lamar ties it at 57. Their ball, under 10 seconds left. Gia Ayers drives, floats, no go. Edwards with the putback, no. Ayers again beats the buzzer. Lamar wins 59-57. Allen scored 19 for Nicholls, but it wasn't enough. Lamar now 18-7 overall, 10-4 in conference. The Colonels fall to 16-9 on the year, 8-6 in the Southland. Without a game on Saturday, Nicholls has had now over a week to stew on that loss to the Lady Cards. There are some pros and cons to that for head coach DoBee Plaisance.
Well, I guess there's a balance. The good thing is you have time to recoup from it and time to regroup. Maybe not recoup, but you regroup. I don't think you ever recoup from a loss like that. That was arguably one of my most devastating losses in my personal career. It was just deflating. But the time off gave us time to regroup, come back, and really reflect on what put us in that position not to get that win. And it wasn't just the last 2 minutes. It wasn't the first 2 minutes. It was, there's 2 to 3 minutes in different parts of that entire game where I can find you 2 points for the tie, 3 points for the win, where we were in control of it. And that is how we came together and regrouped and just really focused ourselves. You know, our biggest opponent right now are the odds. And that's what I instilled in them, or tried to instill in them this week. The only thing you got to beat is the odds. That's it. And if you beat the odds, we're going to be good. And, you know, we had a good practice this week, and going into Sam, that's going to be a tough game, but who else to go in there and try to get one of the 1 or 2s than us? I'd rather be in control of it than anybody else.
Very much in control of your destiny right now, and you're playing teams that are in the mix for one of those 4 byes as well. I know this is a position you just love to be in.
Oh, I relish this position right here because the fact of the matter is, out of our last 4 games, playing 3 of the 4 top teams in our conference is putting us at an advantage. Some people might look at it as, boy, that's a tough way to end the season. I'm looking at it as, no way. This is giving us an opportunity to get there and get a really good seed into the tournament.
Last time you faced Sam Houston, they devastated you on the boards. What's going to turn it around tonight?
Heart, guts, and grit. It's not about anything I can draw up, not a drill I can put out there. The heart, the guts, and the grit. It's just the willpower to own the boards, and we will get that rebound. Not I, not you, we. And when that happens, we're going to see a lot of success on the boards.
What have you learned about your team in the last week now that you've had a little time off?
They just persevere. This group is, they're not going to say die. They took the loss against Lamar very, very hard, and like I said, it was deflating. But the atmosphere at practice wasn't like, here we go again, or we can't do this. The atmosphere at practice is like, okay, we messed up a little bit. We messed up, you know. And you can, and that in and of itself gives a coach something to work with, because we're playing the number 1 team at the time, okay, at their place, and lose at the buzzer by 2. They wasn't settling for that. Oh, we competed, we did well. No, we should have won that game. And that's the type, they persevere. And again, I think it really did resonate with them when I told them, ladies, our biggest opponents are the odds. Beat the odds, and we have this thing.
Got a shot to beat the odds tonight. Good luck, Coach.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you.
Head coach DoBee Plaisance joining us here on Colonel Basketball Weekly. Her club faces Sam Houston tonight, Texas A&M Corpus Christi on Saturday. We'll be back with more of Colonel Basketball Weekly presented by State Farm Insurance in just a moment.
Does State Farm let me bundle auto, home, and life to save money?
Sure. We practically invented bundling. And it all stays with State Farm.
So my policies don't go to some bundling center that ships them off to some bundle factory? I'm dealing with you and not some bungling, bustling bundle builders.
Who have you been working with?
Stay with the company you trust.
Bundle and save with your local State Farm agent.
At Rouse's, we love football. We love the players, we love the fans, and you know we love the food. So whether it's high school, college, or pros, if there's a game, we're tailgating. You can tackle your tailgate too with one stop by Rouse's. Get Rouse's ready to grill meat, chicken, and pork, or pick up Rouse's ready to serve tailgate specials. Everything is made fresh for the game, and you know it's all good. So get the home field advantage every time you shop. Shop local. Shop Rouse's. Now that's tailgating.
Nicholls State University is taking education on the road, the information superhighway. If you are unable to come to campus, we are bringing the campus to you. Study at home and graduate quicker with Nicholls Online. No more going to class around the school's schedule. Go to class online around your schedule. All of your courses are taught by qualified Nicholls State University professors who are experts in their fields. To take that step, go to nichols.edu/nicholsonline or email nicholsonline@nichols.edu.
Here on Colonel Basketball Weekly presented by State Farm Insurance. Just 2 weeks to go, 2 weeks left in the regular season. Ashley Dufresne recaps how we got to this point and takes us through the postseason possibilities.
March Madness is right around the corner. The Nicholls men's and women's basketball teams aren't focused on what has transpired thus far, but rather what they could do now to make a run in the conference tournament.
The start of the men's season was a tough one to swallow, and the team continues to have their ups and downs, but the past is something they can't change.
The beginning of the season, we started out kind of rough due to some of the injuries we had. We played big teams, but other than that, we fought through all the adversity. You know, we got better as a team through practice.
It's kind of rocky, right at the moment, because we lost a couple games that we should have won. And we lost to a couple teams that we should have beat, so our record isn't where we wanted to be at, and we should have a higher place in the rankings to get into the tournament, but that's not how it is right now, so we just have to play it out.
Nicholls fell short in some games they should have won, but they persevered and put themselves in a comfortable position heading into the stretch run.
We learned that we can't really take a day off on the court because that day off can be bad. It could lead to multiple games and have us playing bad and losing.
Never give up. You know, we let a couple of games get away from us, you know, in the fourth quarter, last couple of minutes. And Coach Piper, you know, he tells us every day, you know, just because we lose doesn't make us, you know, a worse player than what we are. You know, we just keep working hard, you know, it'll be fine. You know.
Close losses could have haunted the Colonels for most of the year, but their belief in themselves propelled them into the conference tournament.
We have the best players in the conference, in my opinion. Fred's probably the best postman in the conference, you know, and with his leadership, you know, we could do anything. And, you know, we're ready to upset anybody. So, yeah, we're coming, you know.
Nicholls is in 6th place. While there is no chance to catch the top 3 teams, there are several scenarios in which the Colonels could leapfrog Southeastern Louisiana and Sam Houston State, but all would involve Nicholls winning at least 3 of the final 4 in order to receive the first-round bye. While the men's season has been a bit shaky, the women's season is the best in program's history.
I think we started off pretty well. We have a winning record, like we broke the season wins or whatever, and it didn't go as I expected. I thought it was going to be, you know, I guess a lot faster than it did, but Coach just told me I had to be patient, I had to wait, and everything was going to kind of unfold as it was supposed to.
We had a tough one against Central Arkansas first game, and we were pretty shocked about how we lost that game. So after that, we pretty much set a goal that we weren't going to have that happen to us anymore, and we pretty much went on a winning streak right then and there after that.
At points in the season, it might have seemed this team was a little stubborn, but it was their way of getting better.
We're kind of like a little kid, you know, whenever your mom tells you don't touch a hot stove, we have to kind of touch it in order for us to learn, so it's kind of frustrating, but you know, like the last game, boxing out has been one of our issues, and last game we lost at the end because of, you know, a missed box out, so it's kind of like little things like that that we kind of have to learn kind of without happening, but we're still young, so still have to learn it.
Just staying consistent. We have our stretches in games where we go out by 10 and we get too complacent, and that would have to be one of the hardest things, is keeping that momentum going.
The Colonels have clinched a berth in the conference tournament, and while the #1 spot is still up for grabs, the overriding concern for Nicholls is to finish strong.
Last year it was pretty much like we were trying to get there, and now we're trying to get like a really good seed, which is it's a lot more relieving, not as stressful, because, you know, instead of fighting to get in, we're fighting to be #1 now, so it feels pretty good. I mean, we still have a few games left. We play some people that are ahead of us, and we're all kind of one game. We're all kind of, anybody can beat anybody, so #1's still up for grabs. I hope we can, you know, get that #1 spot, but if not, we're still sitting pretty for the tournament.
I have to say that's a big achievement. That's pretty much something that we set for ourselves, because we went last year, we want to go this year. We want to actually go in the top 4. I've made it this far, and and I just want to come and try to achieve the goal to get to Katy and achieve that championship. We actually wanted to get first place, and that's still a goal. That's still something that could be in our reach. You know, we're never going to give up, but that was something I wanted to do. And this being my senior season, I don't want my last game to end the first round in Katy. I want to keep going, and I want us to keep playing and be able to show my skills and what I'm capable of bringing to the team. And I just want to make my mark here, because, you know, you always remember great players, but you never forget winners.
Qualifying for the conference tournament is one thing, but where you are seated is another. The top 4 teams earn a bye, while the top 2 earn double byes, pushing them straight into the semifinals. The women are currently in 5th place with 4 games to go, but only 2.5 games out of the top position. Oral Roberts, Lamar, Sam Houston, and McNeese are all ahead of the Colonels, but with 3 of those 4 teams left on the schedule, Nicholls can shake up the standings, and running the table might just send them straight into the semifinals.
Both teams are ready to finish the season strong and head to Katy, Texas for the Southland Conference Tournament. No matter where they are seated, the Colonels are ready to bring back championships to their school. For Colonel Basketball Weekly, I'm Ashley Dufresne.
Thanks so much, Ashley. There's plenty going on around Nicholls besides hoops. Pamela Johnson brings us some good news.
The Colonels experienced a triumphant week in competition and had a great time in the community. Nicholls State University came out with several victories in multiple sports, including a pair of conference championships. Whether at home or on the road, the Colonels found a way to come out on top.
Nicholls baseball program opened up their home stand on Wednesday, defeating Southern 11-1. Senior outfielder Matt Richard led off the first with a home run, and the Colonels never looked back. In Friday's series opener against Towson, Richard scored the lone run in a 3-1 setback. Nicholls would bounce back, defeating the Tigers in the next 2 games by scores of 5-3 and 1-0 to take the series. Junior infielder Philip Lyons batted in 3 runs on Saturday, while senior right-hander Corey DeLange tossed 7 innings of 5-hit ball in a combined 1-0 shutout on Sunday. The Colonels improved to 5-2 and head to Baton Rouge this weekend to take on Brown and LSU at Alex Box Stadium following a pair of midweek games.
And very well pitched, played very, very hard. We played the way we're supposed to. You know, we had 3 close baseball games, and that's what I wanted to see. I want to see how we respond in tight situations. We're going to keep working and keep playing hard and keep working hard. And, you know, we got some big goals we want to accomplish, and we certainly have them right there out in front of us.
Played great baseball so far. Pitchers have done an outstanding job on the mound of holding guys down, not allowing them to score too many runs, and offensively we've been getting the job done and doing what we want to do. So it's been great.
The women's track team competed in the Southland Conference Indoor Championship over the weekend in Norman, Oklahoma. As a team, the Colonels finished 8th overall, but Chriselle Roll, a sophomore sprinter, and junior distance runner Jackie White became the first ever Nicholls athletes to earn gold as individual competitors at the meet. Roll took first place in the 60-meter hurdles, while White claimed the title in the 800-meter run.
The Southland Conference Championships, indoor championships, it was pretty good. I went into it with high hopes, not really expecting to win, but hoping to win. I just really had to execute my race, stay focused, and do what I had to do.
The 800, I really thought I was preparing myself for second place medal. I did not think I was going to get first place. And I came off the last curve and I saw it right there, and I was like, all right, let me just try. And I just kicked it in. Barely, I think it said like 0.03 seconds got first.
The Louisiana East Girl Scouts visited the Nicholls campus over the weekend for a leadership day that included the message of girl empowerment. These young ladies had a chance to tour the campus before taking part in skills clinics with the Colonels women's basketball and soccer teams.
So I think it was great for them. They got a lot of confidence out of it. They had a lot of fun. It was really good for them. They seemed like they really enjoyed it, and it was a lot of things that they haven't done before. I could tell. So I think they really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed helping them out, teaching them how to kick the ball, and I think it was a really good event.
It was really fun, and we learned that even if somebody tells you that you're bad at something, to always keep trying.
For Colonel Basketball Weekly, I'm Pamela Johnson.
Thank you very much, Pam. It's time to announce the Rouse's Student Athlete of the Week, sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. Either you're local or you're not. Rouse's Supermarkets are local, with their roots established in Thibodaux in 1923. Trust Rouse's for great food and great values. Louisiana's best can be found at your local Rouse's or at rouses.com. This week we have co-winners. Jackie White and Chriselle Roll both brought home gold at the Southland Indoor Championships. White out of Spring Hill, Florida, with a silver as well in the mile run on Saturday. She ended the meet as the second overall individual point earner. That included a second place finish in the distance medley relay on Friday. White now has 4 all-conference performances to her credit. And Roll out of the Bahamas with a blazing school record 8.70 second race in the final heat to claim her gold. She finished 9th in the same event last season. What an improvement. Head coach Heather Van Norman has that program going in a very positive direction. Congrats to both Jackie and Chriselle. Folks, we want to let you know you can keep up to the minute with Nicholls Athletics no matter where you are. You can do it through our social media outlets. Any time of day, you can get the latest on what's going on. Check us out, facebook.com/GoColonels. That's GEAUX, GoColonels. Twitter.com/ColonelSports and YouTube.com/Nicholls Athletics. We've got great inside information there. Everything you could possibly want to follow each and every team that we offer here at Nicholls. And whenever you post on Facebook or Twitter, use the hashtag GoColonels. That's GEAUX, GoColonels. Well, both the Nicholls men's and women's basketball teams on the road again this week, taking on Sam Houston in Huntsville tonight, and then Texas A&M Corpus Christi coming up on Saturday. Finally, we're back here again next Thursday for a doubleheader against Lamar, and that'll be big for both teams. The women's game begins at 5:30, the men's game at 7:30. You can reserve your tickets in advance. Give us a ring at 985-448-4790. That's 985-448-4790. You can also log on to our website, GoColonels.com, GEAUX, GoColonels.com. Purchase tickets in the comfort of your home or office, and you can find all the latest info there. Rosters, bios, schedules, stats, everything right there at your disposal, GoColonels.com. Folks, that's going to do it for Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by State Farm Insurance. For Ashley Dufresne and Pamela Johnson, I'm Mike Wagenheim. We'll talk to you again coming up next Thursday. Today's show has been presented by State Farm. Contact your local State Farm agent today and get to a better state. This show has also been sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. Rouse's, either you're local or you're not. This has been a presentation of the Colonel Sports Network.